And we're live.
Hello.
Good morning, everyone. It is Saturday. It is 10 o'clock. It is Coffee with Sheila and Melissa. Very, very excited. These half hours have been going really, really fast. So we have our coffee. Yeah. Actually, a couple of years ago, a friend of mine turned me on to a different kind of coffee that I probably never would have tried on my own. But so I bought myself it because it was my birthday week. I gifted myself some really good coffee. So I'm enjoying that a lot this morning. I've been enjoying it all week. So thank you all for the birthday wishes. I can't tell you how thoughtful, overwhelming it's been. There's been over 250 messages. So that's just amazing, guys. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Those of you who've taken advantage of my 20% off birthday special, thank you, thank you, thank you. Today would be the last day to buy into that. So if you've been thinking about booking with me, please use birthday 2021 as the code. And I appreciate each and every one of you. But Sheila, you're the one that's got stuff going on.
Oh, I do. Hello, good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Yeah, lots of stuff going on. And I'd like to invite any of you that haven't signed up for my newsletter, please do, because I'm going to have some nice announcements in that. I am actually featuring Save 50, all right, opportunity where you can save $50 on an actual session if you want to have it with me. But also, I also have for the Canadian people out there, I have a 25% discount on all my services for them. All right, so that's for my beautiful neighbors to the north. And also, I have a 25% discount for my actual packages, which are phenomenal. There's so many things that are happening. It's like I'm just so excited, from my free IET workshop Zoom that is going to be on August 5th. And then, of course, my Lightworkers is on August 4th. And I also have my beautiful Master Instructor IET Master Instructor class, which is the 14th and 15th. Many of us we've talked a lot about integrated energy therapy and about how important it is to heal yourself. It's about healing yourself first. And I have a wonderful intensive workshop in September, and it is very limited. So if you want to get on that, you need to act quickly. That is September 17th, 18th, and 19th. So that's going on in September. So there's a bunch of other stuff too, but as we go every week, we'll tell you all about it all the time. But I'm excited. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter, please go to my website, SheilaTillich.com, and you'll see the pop-up right there, and you can actually sign up for the newsletter there. So then you can stay in touch with all the great things that I'm doing. All right. So, Melissa, let's go. What are we going to talk about today?
So the guys, the energies out there are a lot, and that's what I thought we could talk about today, because a lot of us are going through it. And I actually had an IET session today that needed to be rescheduled because my poor person wasn't feeling well. And I know it's the energies. I know that it's these ascension energies, these download codes, and they affect us. They affect us physically, they affect us mentally, they affect us spiritually, energetically, all of it. And so it's really, really important that when you're going through these ascension symptoms, whether it's the headache, the stomach ache, the loose bowel, the joint pain, check with your doctor, make sure there's nothing medically going on. But if they can't explain it, that's what you're going through. It's this ascension energy. And so taking the time that you need to step back is really, really important. But at the end of the day, this is all good stuff because it's really pushing us into this new energy in a way that's going to change us. It's going to change our lives. It's going to change our lives inside. It's going to change our external experiences. So for many people, if you watched my pick a pile video last night, people are going to be asked to get new jobs. They're going to be asked to really look at their relationships and what's going on with them. They're going to be asked to really step into whatever they've been wanting to do, their dreams, these ideas that sometimes we feel are too big, that it's like too much. For me, I've always been pushed to write a book. to write a book, but it's always felt so overwhelming, so big, so, oh my gosh, I can't do that. How would I have the time? How would I have the energy? And what the hell would I say? Who would want to read what I've got to say? Well, I've actually, so not knowing what I'm going to write, not knowing what I have to say, but I've been putting the intention out there and taking the steps. And one of the action steps I'll share with you is for the past few months, I've actually been taking Gabby Bernstein's masterclass on how to write and publish and market a book. So even though I don't have all the pieces, even though I don't have all the parts, I'm taking the action steps that are going to lead me along the journey. And that's what I would encourage all of you, each and every one of you, to do. Is maybe you don't know how you're going to change jobs. Maybe you don't know how you're going to sell your house. Maybe you don't know how you're going to move states. Maybe you don't know how, whatever that big thing is, take the step.
Oh my goodness. You've opened up a gold mine here. That's really about moving forward. And most of us don't move forward because we live in the fear. So fear will stop us. But this, everybody, is the time to do it. It's just like COVID. COVID was a time for us to self-reflect and really, the shift of consciousness was really happening. Well, this is the time with the portal, with the gateway, which is very, very powerful, is the time to step into your own magnificence. And you hear me talk about it all the time, step into your power, right? And most of us, we are stuck. We feel like we can't move forward. And that's when you have to take the action. You have to take the action. You have to go forward. And that's facing your fears. That's what I love about what we do, Melissa. Helping people understand that they have choices. They have choices. Thank you, Melissa. I just realized that my phone was the same thing. we gotta fix that. We gotta fix. Oh, mine's already on mute. I'm good.
Okay, good. Yeah, I wasn't.
So what Melissa and I do, and what we share, freely. So many things, so many gifts. And that's what it's about. It's about you get what you give out. And the same with in the energy field, is what we talk about monetary, worth and all this other stuff. But when you're talking about in this vibration and about ascending in this new energy, it is about putting it out there. And I love what we do, helping people do that. Looking at the fears, looking at the resentment, the angers, the things that hold them back, and totally helping them surrender to the energy. And what I always say in my tips is nothing changes if nothing changes. Take the effing step. Thomas, you're absolutely right. And in recovery, it's first step. You admit. The same as that you admit that you need to take the first step. You need to take the step of moving forward. Yes, baby steps. And I always say you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. But the key is you're still taking the step. You're taking the responsibility and actually moving forward up in the ascension process. And that's about us standing in our power, finding out our true magnificence, what we're here to do. So, hey.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say good morning. So I'm going to say good morning to Karen Kingsley up there in the North Country. Good morning. I'm going to say good morning to Darlene Merrick down in the Southern Tier. Good morning. And Lori up there in the North. And I'm not really sure where everybody else is, but Charlena, thank you for being here. Darlene, we're so glad you're here today. And good morning, Sharon. Thank you so much. So let's talk about this. I thought this would be where we could kind of go from here because, yes, your dreams are crazy lately. Yeah, the energies are.
Oh.
When you're having dreams that you don't understand or when they're bringing you messages, what I say is, Darlene, if you're really not sure what it means or why you're being brought to what you're being brought to, a couple of things you can do. Keep a dream journal. And what you can do is you can start seeing the patterns of the theme of what the dreams are about because Spirit is bringing you a message. All right. The other thing that really helps is sometimes we don't understand like what we're seeing or why they're bringing certain things to us. It's not about the images. It's really more about the feeling behind it. So if you can really look at what did this make me feel like, or what was the feeling or the connection between the person that I'm being brought to in the dream, because maybe you haven't seen that person in 30 years. Maybe that person has no relevancy in your life. But what they're doing is they're bringing you that feeling or that connection that was between the two of you to help you with a message for what's going on in your life now. Maybe there was something in that connection that held you back in the past that you have to let go of. Or maybe there's something in that connection that's helping you in a connection that you have currently. So it's really about getting very introspective and looking at what is this dream bringing me on all the different levels, and then what can I take from it. But what I would really, really encourage all of you right now is to keep a dream journal. Just write down those impressions, those feelings, those memories as you're waking up, because that will spark more of the dream to come back to you when you wake up and later in the day, and you really can think about it, because Spirit's always giving us messages. They're always guiding us. They're always inspiring us in different ways, whether it's clairaudiently, whether it's clairvoyantly, and whether it's in your dreams. Maybe it's signs and symbols. Maybe you're seeing the coins. Maybe you're seeing the animals. Maybe you're seeing the numbers. They're always, always talking to us, and they're always going to bring us the message as much and as often and as in different ways until we get it.
Okay. Go ahead and put up Thomas's, what he put on there. That is awesome.
On the opposite, I was so wanting a new job, and something inside me was saying, no, wait. So I stopped splitting for jobs. Then all of a sudden, my job changed completely to what I wanted it to become, which was completely out of nowhere. Then everything is about to change again in a few weeks. And because I stayed, I get the amazing opportunity.
Absolutely. I like to address that. That is so true, Thomas. It's like a lot of people don't know why they stay in certain things. And sometimes it's just not the right time. And the opportunities will come when it's the right time. That's the key. That's part of the evolution and growing and wisdom that you get by staying. And also, Spirit knows. Spirit knows what you need. Exactly what Melissa was just talking about. Absolutely. I'd like to share something about mine real quick, is that when I went to nursing school, all right, I went to nursing school in the 90s, and I came down with fibromyalgia my third year. Excuse me. And I was never able to finish my bachelor's. However, Spirit had other things for me. I ended up doing phlebotomy, and I was on the actual nursing department years later, and then also doing the holistic stuff. Spirit knew what my divine purpose was, but I had to go through the flow, and I had to take different jobs, and I had to, all these different opportunities that came my way. And now look at us, so Spirit knows it's the right time and divine time. Okay. So we have, first of all, I want to thank everybody for coming and supporting us this way. We've been doing it for 2 or 3 months now, and we absolutely love communicating with you. We love the questions. We love the discussion, and that's what it's about. We're here to help you. So, okay. All right. So, say, Jay, I'm struggling to dream of my beloved ones. I asked for it, but nothing for months. It's, as I always say, the train hasn't come yet. The train hasn't come yet. You're on the track, but train's not coming yet. So just wait, and it's always about you healing yourself first, working on yourself first. And your vibrational field will attract the right person to your energy field. That's what it's about. And a lot of us, we want to force it. We're not happy, and, the jealousies come up, and the envies of our people that have it. It's like, why me? Why me? It's like, it's not your time. And it's about your making yourself whole inside first, because you can't really healthily give it to another person unless you're whole. That's a whole nother subject, but it's like, we're struggling for months. It's not coming. Work on yourself.
That's it. Because, a lot of people, so one of the things I do when I start my classes, Sheila, is I talk about the healing. I talk about, how our vibration is, we're somewhere here and Spirit somewhere here, and somehow we've got to get in connection. So if you're dealing down here in the lower vibrational field of victimization and powerlessness and unworthiness and revenge and anger and everybody's out to get me, you're not going to be able to get up here where Spirit is. And Spirit's like, we got a message, but we can't get to you. So you have to do the healing. You have to do so that you can come up and they can come down, and then you can meet. But that's why, we talk about this healing. And, one of the things as a medium is everybody wanted to know how I do what I do. But I really had to step back and look at, okay, the reason that I do what I do is because I've done the work on myself. I've taken the time to really raise my vibrational frequency by, the forgiveness, by getting in gratitude, and really working on those high vibrational frequencies so that I could get into connection in a way that I could trust and act on the information that I was receiving. So that's key, guys. That's key. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Thomas says, even with other things in my life, once I started listening to myself, things I wanted seem to be coming forth. Patience, and in sometimes it's very hard as things may just my desire might be tempting you when you're being told to wait or no.
Yeah, that's building. It's actually the trust and the knowing that it's going to happen. It's all about
The
trust.
relationship.
Exactly.
The relationship.
Also, put the one up that JC said about the mediums.
Why do some mediums say they can't connect because we want it too much? Surely not loved ones know how bad we want to hear from them and vice versa. They also okay the spirit has to go when wanting to ask questions, but I thought time does not exist on the other side.
Okay, so that's a really good one, and there's many answers to that one.
Yeah.
All right, so and a lot of times they ask, how come such and such a spirit doesn't come through? Well, that's not what you're needed at this time. And the same with a lot of times mediums they can't go there. Your vibrational field isn't there yet, but they're reading your field. What is going on with you first? And that's why we always talk about issues in the tissues, about taking care of yourself first, about healing the resentment, the anger, and all the other stuff that's inside that's stopping you from actually having the frequency to attract all this stuff. Mediums are just reading what's going on with you.
What I will add to that, Jay, and this is what I've, in the mediums that I've studied, in the work that I've done, and even in my own experiences pulling loved ones through for people. Spirit that comes through is what you need. Spirit that comes through has a message for you that you need at that time. So I tell people all the time when I start a session that who may come through may not be who you want, but it's going to be what they feel you need because they have a very important message for you. So please be open to whatever message comes through. And that has made a big difference in the kind of medium appointments that I've had or sessions that I've had, because so many people come in with that expectation of talking to that loved one that they really, really want to hear from. But if that loved one doesn't have a message for you, but a different loved one does, that's the one that's going to come through first. All right. So I can tell you in my own experience that every time I sit down with someone, I want to hear from my brother. All right. He died 10 years ago. He was only 32. I miss him to this day. I see him in my daughter's face every time we talk, but he doesn't always come through because he doesn't have a message for me. So sometimes you just have to be open to what spirit brings you and just know that when it's the right time, the spirit that you want to talk to will come through. And as you do the work and you start to be able to connect on your own, then you can connect whenever you want. And that's really why my brother doesn't come through anymore, because he's with me all the time.
Absolutely. That's the whole key. That so many things are opening now for us to actually feel and know their presence. And it's all about connecting with the spirit, about consciousness and the oneness of who we are. And our loved ones are always there. And we expect, our linear thinking expect them to come a certain way. And they've been there the whole time giving us messages. It's like opening up your frequency when you're sent to be able to feel the frequency, and also your own learning process of recognizing the sign, because the universe is always giving you signs. Always, always, always. And thank you, Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Melissa and Sheila. Jenny says.
Oh, hey. So Thomas, okay. I do want to highlight this because this is really important. And thank you for saying this. You probably don't know what you really need right now. Absolutely. So when people sit down with me, they don't know what they need. They just know what they want. And that is a very important distinction that I make with people who do a book sessions with me, because I'm very upfront. You may not get what you want, but you will get what you need. And it's really important. Thank you.
Yeah. I'd like to add to that. A lot of people come to me and they know I'm an evidential medium, and they'll want to connect with so-and-so. And I will direct them into another medium like Melissa or Tressa or whatever, if that's exactly what they want. But my work has to do with why are they asking this question? It's mostly about the healing. And that has to do with the issues in the tissues. It's about the relationship that they had in this lifetime, and the guilt or the pain or the heartache, the grief that they had. That's where being a minister and all this other stuff that I do comes into play, and especially all the different tools that we have. Yes, work on yourself. Even when I taught Thomas, even when I taught social justice okay at the college level, the first weeks were all about self-identification and realization before you can emphasize and understand justice. Absolutely. Absolutely. So those are the questions. Why do you want the reading? What's really going on inside? But there's so many avenues of healing that we do. We are just so grateful to be able to provide many, many different services and then help you understand why and then help you ascend to that higher frequency. Cool. Okay.
So that is what this Lionsgate energy is doing. It's bringing you all of these needed signs and impetus, inspiration to make the changes that it's time for you to make. And for many of us, we don't want to make those changes. They can feel like a leap of faith. They can feel like completely outside of your comfort zone. But that's what this energy is. This is big, big energy, guys. And that's why it's important to get grounded, and to sage, and to take your salt baths, and to get in connection with your guides of angels, ascended masters. One of the things I'm doing right now is actually reading a book of ascended masters, learning about the different ascended masters, and meditating every day with them, because I felt in this big energy I needed some more help, some more spiritual help. So please always look for, what you're being drawn to. And in this big energy, you may feel like it's finally time to make that move across country. You may feel like it's time to really leave that relationship that hasn't been serving you for a long time. And just know that you're supported. Just know that what you're being brought to is for you. And sometimes it's hard to act and trust on it, but that's why praying, invoking the help is so important, and meditating and receiving the inspiration and the support is so important.
Absolutely. Thomas says, first of all, Jenny, yes, we both got our haircut.
Thank you, Jenny. Yep.
And Thomas, yes, we love those talks too. And yes, we don't want them to end too, but unfortunately, time constraint here. But I want to give some kudos to you, Thomas, because what you and Stacey are doing with the actual parables, with the Journey of Home, Lee Carroll's book, The Journey of Home, is awesome, because it really brings us to understand us now as humans, what has actually happened in the duality of the energy that's out there. And it's about your choices. And it's really, it's deep study, all right, that was done many years ago by Lee Carroll, all right. However, it applies so much now in this energy that we're in the Lionsgate. It's about choices, and also about your fears and why you stay stuck, all right, instead of moving forward. When you're having the actual nudges to do something and you stay in the fear, why are you doing that? So it's all about trust, all right, put it on the shield of God, knowing that you are not alone, all right, and moving forward, taking those steps.
Yeah, I actually talked to somebody the other day, and they were like, well, what if I just don't do anything? And I was like, not making a decision is making a decision to stay stuck.
Bingo. And you know what? I used to, being from recovery, and my sponsor, I used to, for many years, I didn't do anything about my relationship because I wasn't ready. And she always says, not making a decision is making a decision, because it wasn't the right time. Looking back, hindsight, you can see where, yes, it wasn't the right time because I didn't heal yet. I didn't heal me. I didn't put me first to understand what I needed to do. So absolutely, making a decision to not make a decision is a decision. However, the energy is different now, and the signs are all out there. And that's what it's about. It's about connecting with like-minded people that understand this and we can talk to. And we all have different ways of helping each other. Just like the grounding, we talked about the grounding in the last Lightworkers that I had. I just got through going out grounding, and I've been grounding for years. I love it. And so many people are really starting to get back in it because that's the energy that's out now. That's the vibrational energy. Awesome.
Yeah, and it's so important. It's so important to take care of yourself. One of the big messages that's been coming through this week, all week, if you watch my daily messages, you probably have seen the theme about taking care of yourself. And for many people, it's always, especially light workers, especially people who are waking up, we've always put ourselves on the bottom. We've always put ourselves at the bottom of the list. We've always done everything for everybody else first. And so putting ourselves first can almost be so uncomfortable because we feel like we're being selfish. But on some level, we have to be a little selfish. You do have to take care of yourself. You do have to put the time and energy into yourself before you can really give in the way that you want to. Because if you're not filling up your own cup, if you're depleting your own cup, you're actually negatively impacting your own experience, your own situation, and then for some of us, our own health, which is why I took a tumble down the stairs.
That could be. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly, Thomas says, I got a haircut yesterday too. Yeah. That's exactly why I formed the Lightworkers Connection, is that because a lot of us don't know how to take care of ourselves, and we need to be connected with the other ones that are in the same frequency, living this life, going through all this stuff. So don't forget about that. Lightworkers twice a month, first and third, that I have. So it's, you got to take a step. It's self-healing. Take a step, be in the right frequency, the right people. Go ahead.
Thank you. I shared many of the other Cryon parables in the spring. I plan on repeating these parables in the fall, as they are also relevant at the time, always needing to help others. So Thomas, do me a favor in the chat box. Would you please put down either the Facebook URL or any kind of URL that will allow people to be able to find you so that they can get to your talks? We would appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
And Karen, this is so important, honey. After dealing with Dad yesterday, I came back to camp and cried and then slept most of the day away because you're not taking care of yourself, because you gave from an empty cup. And I know that you work, and I know that, mom is passing, you're still grieving, and I know that dad is a lot. So it's very important for you to make sure that you're taking time that you need to take care of yourself, or asking and reaching out for help and support, whether it's physical help and support, mental help and support, or emotional help and support, or spiritual help and support. Making sure that you're hitting all the different, ways in which we need help, and we need to shore up our own cup. All right, so sending you so much love and so many blessings. So thank you for being here with us. Good morning, Dorothy.
Good morning, Dorothy. About talking about Cryon, right? So Thomas, I absolutely love the parables that you're doing, absolutely. And why I talked about Jimmy Home being very prevalent today is because his healing circle on Wednesdays on 12 is about this healing that you're doing and understanding the healing process and the connection with the vibration. So people to really have a chance to actually connect with the Circle of 12, free on YouTube. The first Wednesday of the month is free to everybody. So I would encourage you to go to the Cryon Circle of 12, right, and tap into that, because that's another way that you can help yourself by going inward. A lot of people ask me, what kind of meditations do you do? What do you do? I constantly am listening to positive stuff. I'm constantly connected with a higher source. And that's what you have to do, is you have to make the decision to do that, make it part of your life. And people say, I don't have time. Well, just like we talked about the SIP, 3 minutes a day, sit in the presence. There's so many things that we can do. And we love sharing all this.
And honestly, Sheila, 3 minutes a day. Not only that, but make it part of your life. I mean, I used this analogy the other day, and I think I'm going to keep using it. Just like you brush your teeth every day, sit for 3 minutes every day. Just like you wash your hair every week, make sure you read some inspirational material, or you journal once a week. Whatever it is, make it a part of your life in a way that you make your other parts of your life part of your life. And that's what I had to do for myself, because I was a single mother working crazy hours, and I didn't feel like I had time. So I just started incorporating things just like I would, as if I needed to do it for, brushing my teeth or making my coffee, or, whatever it was that I would do on a regular basis. I'm like, okay, so every night before bed, I'm going to read one page of this book. And it changed my life. And that book was A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. One page a night was what I read for a year, because that's all the time I
had. And referring to that, the Lemurian Sisterhood book is out there. Cryon's book, 14's out there. There's another book he's coming, but it won't be coming for a while. And I think that's kind of put on the hold because of the Circle of 12. It's like listening and doing what you need to do, which is really great. Great. It's soul inspirations of the Finger Lakes. Yay!
Nice. So thank you. So yes, guys, if you're looking for more, Sheila has the Lightworkers Connection Circle. She also has a Facebook group for that. I do have Guidance 311, which is the group attached to my page. I also, on my website, I have an event on August 11th where I'm going to do a free Zoom meeting for any of you who would like to get together, like-minded people, practicing pulling cards, practicing asking me questions about mediumship. For those of you who've taken classes, please show up and help model for others. But there's a lot. We're doing all kinds of free things. So please take. It's not just about making money. It really is about supporting you in the way that you need, however you need. And, we've got these groups, we've got, ways in which to get in touch with us. Sheila does free Zoom meetings for the IET. For those of you who want to learn more about that, she does the free Zoom meetings for Unity Field Healing. I'm going to start doing the free Zoom meetings for the meetups. So, we're here for you. We truly are. And then if you want to work with us, you know what you're getting because you know us. You've built that relationship. And that's what this is all about: connection and relationship and feeling supported. So that's all the time we have this week. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week. We're so excited to be here. And next week, too. Bye.
Have a good rest of your day.